If anybody ever told you they weren't scared going into a fight, they'd be lying to you. I was scared every time I went into that fight. I fought to win, and I usually did win. That's why I ended up working my way up to a full patch member of the Hells Angels.
Well, that's Joe Calandino, author of To Hell and Back. In his book, he details the chilling story of how he got involved in the Hells Angels, was kicked out, and then he was able to put his life back together. And he joins us now to discuss his book. Good morning, Joe. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in today. So, I mean, obviously we only have a few minutes to talk here, but let's get back to the beginning. And in what position were you in that you decided that the right thing to do at the time was to enter the Hells Angels?
Well, for me, it started at a very young age. I was making choices back in the day that I identified with a certain lifestyle. So back in the 80s, you know, I was involved in drug usage, started fighting at a very young age, got involved with my crew, my clique, and eventually it led me to a journey after owning my own business that I felt like I had a void. So going back to that lifestyle was something that I wanted to achieve. I did achieve it. At the end of the day, what ended up happening is they kicked me out.
Why did they kick you out?
My behavior, and I was in a Kelowna casino fight, and the attention that they were receiving was not attention that they wanted. So they asked me to leave, and from there I spiraled into addiction. And as I spiraled into addiction, I lost everything. And then eventually there was a gentleman by the name of Kevin who I went to school with. Kevin Torvik went the right way, I went the wrong way, and he became a policeman for Biker Gang Task Force, of all things. And he helped pick me up while I was going through withdrawal and addiction and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually brought me back to a gentleman by the name of Gary Little, the co-author on the book. And the journey began where we created Yo Bro, Yo Girl Youth Initiative that teaches kids about the trials and tribulations of drugs and gangs.
Okay, we could talk for a long period of time about the lifestyle as a Hells Angel. I think that many people are quite familiar with what you went through, although I'm sure there'd be many surprises both ways. But once you're out, let's dwell on that, because that's what you're trying to do right now, is point out that it's the wrong direction to go in. And let's talk about recovery. What message do you have for children or for teenagers or for people in their 20s who are possibly thinking of going in that direction?
Well, you know, everybody has to make their own choices. It always comes back to choices. I can tell you there is no glitz, glamour, and glory at the end of the day within that lifestyle. You know, we're dealing with crises in multiple provinces right now, whether it be with fentanyl, crystal meth, various different drugs, and kids picking up guns at a younger age today. So our message is always about prevention and early intervention, and get invested early as soon as that behavior starts to happen. So you know, it's pretty critical that not only educators and police get involved, but we all get involved. And the piece about, you know, recovery, that's a journey. You know, it's a pace, not a race. And well,
no, you were saying that as a member of the Hells Angels, you got yourself into a situation where they actually kicked you out of the organization. What if a person decides over the course of their tenure with the Hells Angel, it's time to get out of here? How difficult is it to leave on your own accord?
Well, you can retire, you can pack it in, you know, at the end of the day, that's up to you.
So there's no real pressure to stay with these people?
No, that's misconceived perception, right?
Right.
So,
but obviously the damage could be done at that point, as it was in your case, and that's where the long road begins.
True.
Yeah.
So
where do you go from here?
From here, we're hopeful that the book takes us to a whole new level where this becomes a piece for educators, police, those in recovery, for parents to have critical conversations with their youth. You know, there's a curriculum attached to the book as well. So we're hopeful that, you know, our programs and strategies for kids not to get invested in that lifestyle is something that we all take to know.
You had the opportunity to go to Audrey's Books here in town, and you signed some books there?
I did. I did. And it was.
Did you meet some people? Did you?
Yeah, we sat there, and it's funny, as I'm on the national tour, I've met so many wonderful people, and at the end of the day, they've come in from various different backgrounds and wanted to hear about the story, but a lot of the people that did come in, there's always a story of they have their own stories. So it's, a story about redemption, hope, and recovery.
All right, and I understand that some of those books that are signed are still at Audrey's Books?
They are.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Joe. The book is called Hell and Back by Joe Calandino. For more information, visit them online to hellandback.ca. We're back after the break.